Hey guys, it's Love Vibes Day where we talk about relationships or like I say, your partnership development. Welcome. I'm JFO. This is High Vibes with JFO. Make sure to subscribe because I've got videos 5 days a week for you in all the areas of life, okay? And astrology and vibration. You want to join the party. And comment. Guys, just talk to me. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, so today is Love Vibes, and what we're going to talk about today is paradigms. Love paradigms and relationships, and something very specific. It's going to be a pretty short video. I just want to give you a little dose of what I'm learning as I embark on my own journey, ever growing, ever evolving, to manifesting my true life partner, future husband. I'm still on that journey. I don't know why it's taken so long. I'm assuming it's a divine timing issue. I'll do a video on that at some point, I'm sure. But what's funny, by the way, side note, 5 days a week, right, are my content. So I've got the high vibes or the destiny vibes. I've got, so high vibes, destiny vibes. I've got the diamond vibes. I've got the love vibes. I've got the star vibes, right? And I did a video on the 4 corners of the chart. You want to check that out, where I talk about how all 4 corners of the chart are the 4 areas of our life. And then there's the overarching, just getting high, right? Just get high with the high vibes. But those 4 corners of the chart are also the corners of my business and how I can support you, okay? But what's really cool about the 4 corners of the chart is that you have 2 of the 4 that are on your comfort zone and 2 of the 4 that are on your destiny. So for me, the relationship angle, love vibes, and the star vibes angle, you're being a star, being a, out public image, career, right? Shining out in the world. Those 2 angles are JFO's destiny. So what do I do best? I do diamond vibes, which is my home personal development space. And of course, destiny vibes, which is knowing myself inside and out. I do those 2. Those are my comfort zone. So I know self and I know my home space. That is where I thrive. So when I'm coming to you on Wednesdays for love vibes and I'm coming to you on Thursdays for star vibes, those are the areas where I'm really pushing even harder to master, because it's the 2 areas that I want even more than anything in the world, but it's the 2 areas that are not necessarily my zone of genius. So a lot of the things I'll bring you guys with love vibes is going to be my own journey of messing it up and not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Okay. So I was reading this in one of the courses I'm taking, and I'm going to read it to you. Paradigms are simply a belief system that you have about yourself or how the world works. Now, we're going to talk about romance in this video, but I just want you to know that this could be applied to the world right now. I'm going to read it again. Paradigms are simply a belief system that you have about yourself or how the world works. So right now we all have belief systems on how the world works. And the reason why there's such a divide is because the world is shifting. We are literally ascending from 3D to 5D, from an astrological, spiritual, vibrational perspective. Earth, Mother Gaia, is having this huge galactic biblical experience right now that was contracted in time, where she is evolving. And the best way to think of it is it's like upgrading your iPhone, right? Or 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, right? We're just upgrading the spiritual systems, right? That's shifting, but while it's shifting, the world that we know is changing, okay? And that's why some people, their paradigms are focused on the map of the world of the old earth, and some of us are shifting to the map of the world of new earth. And then some are kind of in a weird middle zone. So it's a hot mess right now when it comes to our collective paradigms. So if you're dating right now, it's even crazier because of that. Okay? But then we got our freaking paradigms that we normally have in relationships. So we're dealing with a lot of things right now. So let's talk about that. So now you know what the definition is. So we can learn these from our childhood. We can learn these, we learn these throughout our life, these paradigms. We hold on to them and then we start to believe them and then we start to hold on to them. But this is the thing that stood out for me that I had to go back and read 4 times. And I was like, oh my God. And then I did this journal thing with it and it was epic. So I'm going to share it with you. So what it says in my little PDF here is, remember, these paradigms will serve you. Some will serve you and some will limit you. So some paradigms serve you. So a lot of people right now are shifting their paradigms about the world, and they're expanding their paradigms in a way that's literally serving them, because they're rising up, right? And then there's some people in the world right now that are believing certain paradigms about the world that's putting them in massive fear and lowering them down into consciousness of dense consciousness of greed and fear and scarcity and limitation and we're gonna die, right? And so that you can apply that like collectively right now to the world. That's why all of our relationships are being tested right now, okay? Because there's the fear dense and then there's the high vibe energy. And what's ironic is someone could be living in the 3D matrix and be high vibe. And someone could be living in the 5D new earth and be a little bit low vibe because they're stressed that we're not fully there yet. And so it's really not about, there's 2 layers to it when you really think about it. It's like, what dimension are you in and what consciousness are you in, right? But I digress. So some serve, some do not serve, okay? So your paradigms seek to keep you alive. It's all about survival with your paradigms, okay? And the way that your paradigms do this is by collecting more and more evidence that the beliefs are true. Now, we know this from Law of Attraction. We know this from the work of Abraham Hicks, or Abraham channeled by Esther Hicks is another way to say that, right? So if you don't know Abraham, go check Abraham out. You could just literally YouTube Abraham Hicks, The Meaning of Life, and you'll find whatever you need, right? But Abraham always says that we're attracting that next thought. We're attracting that next thing. And so a paradigm it's like that neural pathway that we just keep repeating. And it's just autopilot, right? It's autopilot. But we're going to, so that's another reason why there's so much polarity in the world right now, right? Because if you believe something about the world, you're going to find evidence of it. You're going to find news articles and videos and information that you're going to be like, see, I was right. And then the other person's going to go, no, but I got a news article and I got a video. See, I'm right. Because it's all about what you're believing you're going to attract, right? Okay, you're going to find evidence. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is the key part. I got to find it. Okay, here we go. I got to find it. Let's rush it. No, I can't find it. Hold on a second. Okay, I might have to go into my journal to find what I wrote. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into my journal. So hold on. We do these live. We riff. I'm gonna go grab my journal. I'll be right back. I'm still here, I promise. Okay, I found it. Look, it's really pretty. Isn't it pretty? Okay. So what I wrote is this. I'm going to find it here because it's not in there. Okay. If there is an unwanted result in your life that has been a persistent pattern, there is a belief somewhere that is driving you towards it and an unconscious gain that you are getting from maintaining that limiting belief. Let's say that again. It's powerful. It's going to change your life. Okay. If there is an unwanted result, so let's just say there's an unwanted result in your romantic life, in your romantic relationship life, okay, that has been a persistent pattern, there is a belief somewhere that is driving you towards it and an unconscious gain that you are getting from maintaining that limiting belief. So we'll just use the example that was in the PDF. So if someone believes, well, all men cheat, right? You're going to find evidence for all men cheat. You're going to attract the kinds of men that cheat, right? You're going to find evidence. So let's use it from this. I kind of feel like it's like a freaking formula. So if there's an unwanted result, so the unwanted result is I don't want to be with a man who cheats, okay? And that you keep persistently creating a pattern where you keep manifesting a man who cheats. There's obviously a belief there that's driving you toward that, right? Because it wants to survive. It wants to be right. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips to figure that out, but we'll just use the simple example of you probably have a belief that's, well, all men cheat. I mean, it's just what they do, right? Okay, so driving you toward it. And then from that experience, you're getting some unconscious gain from that. So maybe it's just as simple as your ego wants to be right, you're super freaking prideful, and you want to play the victim, right? But what I learned when I was doing this work was that I've done so much work on myself that I couldn't wrap around why I was still attracting certain things that I don't want. And so I started to get really clear with myself. Well, where is the unconscious, where's the belief that would make me attract that after all the work I've done? But then also, what's the unconscious gain? And I started to realize that there was actually like, how do I say this? There was actually, so for example, in the past, I might attract an unavailable man. And that might be because my limiting belief is that I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, right? No men stick around, right? And that could still be lingering, obviously, but in the past, before I was really truly working on this, that could have been it, right? And then the unconscious gain was that I can complain about it and be the victim of it, and right? Now, another thing you could say is if that's still happening, but you still worked on it, you can just say what Abraham says, which is, it's old news. It's old news. Like, that's an old manifestation. I don't have to worry. I've already cleansed it out, But what I realized for me was, why was I still attracting that unavailable man, that unavailable emotional man? And it was because this time around, it was actually preventing me from getting into a relationship, because I realized that I actually need to focus on my business right now. I need to go all in with my business for a little short amount of time just to get some traction, get some grounding, get a foundation of what I'm creating in my life. And then once I'm there, I'm gonna be ready to go back and meet guys. So what I realized is that sometimes it's not a paradigm that you haven't worked on. Sometimes it's a seasonal error. I just made that up. It's a seasonal error, meaning that right now in this season, you're just a little disaligned, I went really high there. You're just a little disaligned with what you need in this season. And so what I recognized was like, oh, I just did myself a favor by doing that, because I helped myself. Number one, I helped myself get clear on that. I wasn't clear on it before, right? Number two, I was able to have an experience with someone that was fabulous, and I saw the positive aspects of what else I attracted, because that's another thing. A lot of times at paradigms, we're only focused on the negative ones. What about the positive ones, right? So use this tip on paradigms to support you in getting super clear. Go back and listen to that section where I really reread that part of the journal, and write it down for yourself and start writing out, what is the unwanted result? What is the belief behind this? And what is the unconscious gain that I'm getting from it? Let me know how this served you. Ask me any questions. Make sure to subscribe and book a reading. Let's do it.